G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do today is to step through another book, and today's book is going to be a little bit more lighter and funnier than some of the other books that we've been through. A book that has a dual authorship of a husband and wife, and the book is entitled Why Men Want Sex and Women Need Love, a book authored by Barbara and Allan Pease and published on the 12th of January 2010. And for those who recognise the name, Allan Pease is a leading thought master on body language and wrote many books, and I've been following him ever since I was at university and maybe even before that. But in this book, we focus specifically on the dynamics of attraction and relationships between men and women, usually a topic which is considered taboo, but to their credit, Allan and Barbara, the husband and wife team, have took it upon themselves to discuss and to talk about the many differences that occur between the genders of men and women. Whilst most people, or many people I should suggest, may not necessarily agree with what the authors here say, let's have a look and listen and see if there's anything that we can learn and that we can take from this specific book from these two wonderful people. So the first key message to come from this book is where we look at the different motivations for relationships. And these authors, the husband and wife, argue that men and women often have different motivations when it comes to relationships. And they say that men may prioritize physical intimacy, while women may emphasize emotional intimacy or emotional connection and love, leading to misunderstandings between the sexes. So what the authors here are alluding to is that men and women, in many cases, not all cases, are different from each other because they are looking for different things to fulfill them. Men looking for physical intimacy, whereas women potentially looking for emotional intimacy and connection. And we look at what may cause this. And the first learning is where we look at the biological influences. And both of these authors discuss how biological factors influence in a big way our behaviour and our attraction. They explain that evolutionary psychology plays a role in shaping desires, with men often driven by reproductive instincts and women by the need for security and emotional support. We also look at the different types of communication styles that are exhibited by men, typically, and women. Once again, it's not 100% accurate, but we are generalizing here and just trying to suggest that there are differences, and once you understand these differences, you're in a better position to understand yourself, and you're in a better position to appreciate and understand the others around you. This book highlights the differences in communication styles between men and women. Men, on the one hand, tend to be more direct and solution-oriented, whilst women often seem to seek empathy and emotional validation. And as we alluded to and suggested before, understanding these basic differences can improve communication and also reduce conflict. We look at the impact and the importance of emotional connection. And as we said before, and we'll say it again and again and again until it sinks in, women typically long for emotional intimacy, and it's critical, crucial, and very important to them. The authors emphasize that building a strong emotional connection is essential for women to feel fulfilled, to feel loved in a relationship, while men may not always recognise this important need and miss the cues and clues completely. And a lot of this is based on social conditioning. These authors explore how social conditioning shapes perceptions of gender roles and expectations in relationships. They argue that societal norms can heavily influence how men and women behave and interact, often reinforcing these stereotypes. We look at the best ways of navigating conflict, and the authors both provide strategies for navigating conflicts that arise from differing needs and expectations. They suggest that couples should openly discuss their particular desires and frustrations in order to foster understanding, compromise, and progress. And the last key point to come from this book is where we look at mutual respect and understanding. As Steve Covey famously said in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, first seek to understand another person or the others before being understood or seeking for them to understand you. Ultimately, this book advocates for mutual respect and understanding between partners, recognizing and appreciating each other's differences can lead to healthier, more fulfilling relationships, allowing both partners to feel valued and understood. These lessons offer valuable insights into the complexities of attraction and relationships, encouraging readers to embrace differences and foster different connections